I'm looking at you like, where my money? And you like, what money? I don't owe you no money. And they're like, yes you do, you owe me some money. And then you looking crazy. So yeah. Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jayla. If you're new here, if you're not new here, hey girl. In today's video, I'm going to be pretty much just talking to you guys about how to start your ready-to-wear wig business. And I'm really excited to be talking to y'all about this because, as you may or may not know, I've been in business. My wig business has been running since 2020, August of 2020. And I feel like I know a little something. This year has been a lot of highs, a lot of lows. I've learned some stuff, so I feel like at this point in my career, I can really talk to y'all about what I've learned about just starting the business. And I mean, of course, as time goes on, I'll be able to update this type of video and let y'all know more information. But for right now, I feel like I can tell y'all what I know. So if you guys are interested in learning how to start your own ready-to-wear wig business, then you should keep on watching. All right, y'all, so I have my phone here and I'm gonna be looking down at it sometimes, so please don't pay me any mind. I wrote down some little notes about pretty much just try to get my thoughts onto something so that when I'm talking to y'all, I won't be all over the place, because I feel like I'm always all over the place. So yes, so pretty much I wanted to let y'all know how I feel like you should go about starting your ready-to-wear wig business. So if you don't know, ready-to-wear wigs are just wigs that are literally what it says, ready to wear, meaning when you receive them, they should be easy to apply. So most of the time you're not side bleached, your hairline is plucked, any type of styling is already done, all of that stuff is done. So that's what ready to wear means. And a lot of times people mix that up with ready to ship, and ready to ship just means literally that. It's a unit that's ready to ship. Once you place your order, it should be going out within the next 1 or 2 business days, because it's literally ready to ship. So I just wanted to kind of clear that up if there was any confusion about that. The first thing I feel like when starting your ready-to-wear wig business, you need to really figure out is this something that you really want to do? Is this something that you really like doing? Is it just because you see somebody else doing it? Is it because you really like hair? What is the reason that you're really doing this? You feel me? So for me personally, I was in a kind of weird space. I knew that I wanted to do something. I knew I was interested in all things beauty. At the time I was in school, I was doing makeup, and I was looking for a job, and I'm just like, I'm tired of going from job to job. It's just too much. I need something stable, and I need something to call my own. I hate every time I would start a job, I would love it for maybe a couple months, and then afterwards I would hate it, and I'm just dreading going in there every day. So but anyways, for my whole backstory, go watch how I started my wig business. But yeah, so I just knew that I hated it, and then that's when I came up with this idea to make and sell ready-to-wear wigs. So I feel like you have to really like what you're doing. You have to have some type of background-ish in it. So of course you can start from scratch, but the whole point of this video is learning how to do this with little to no money. So if you have money, you can always take classes, you can always purchase online courses, you can do those type of things. But if you don't have any money, you just have the skill, then this is kind of like the video for you. So the first things first, I think for selling ready-to-wear wigs and starting your own business with it with little to no money, I believe the first thing you should do is start a bring your own bundle deal or sale. So pretty much when you don't have any money, to purchase inventory, what you do is you have people to bring you their bundles and closures and frontals and all of that type of stuff, and you make their wigs for them. So this way you don't have to have a lot of startup money. You just may need money for supplies, which if you do your own hair, then you should already have supplies. So if you have people bring you their bundles, then that way you can make the wigs. Now please have done this before. Please don't start saying, oh, I'm gonna do bring your own bundles if you've never sewn a wig onto a cap, whether it's hand sewn, whether it's machine sewn. If you've never done it, I would not start like this, because that's the easy way to already mess up your reputation before you get it started. People gonna be mad at you for messing up their bundles. So please, please, please don't do that. If you haven't ever sewn a wig onto a cap, or if you have, if you've done it yourself, if people constantly complimenting you, people constantly asking you to do it, if it's just something you want to get into and you know you have some technique into it, then yeah, I think that's a good way to start. Allow people to bring you their bundles and their closures, and then start making their wigs for them, customizing them for them, and all that type of stuff. And that's the easy way to get started with little to no money. So once you start doing that, for instance, let's do some calculations. So for instance, you allow people to bring you their wigs and their bundles, excuse me. You are charging them $100 to make the wig, customize the wig, and that's that. So now you just made $100 profit. You didn't do anything. You didn't buy anything. You didn't do anything. It's $100 profit. So let's say you do this twice a day for 5 days a week. That's 10 wigs at $100. That's $1,000. So now you have $1,000 profit, right? Now let's say you do this for 2 months, right? So that's $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month, 2 months, $8,000, right? I'm gonna put the calculations up here in case y'all want, check me. This is real simple math. $8,000 for 2 months, right? So now you're like, okay, I have $8,000 that you have. Let's just say you haven't touched it at all. You have $8,000 saved up. I want to go ahead and start buying myself some inventory so that I don't have to personally make the wigs. Or you want to start buying your own bundles so that people will get used to your hair. It won't be them bringing you whatever random hair that they have. Now it's your hair, it's your hairline. So this is kind of when you're really getting started with your wig business and making your ready to wear business. So at this point, I think deciding whether or not you want to use pre-made units, which are units made by a factory, made by your vendor, or if you want to continue to make wigs with bundles and closures, or both. It just depends on which one you like, So me personally, when I first started, I was doing both. I was selling pre-made units, and I was also ordering bundles and sewing them myself and selling them that way. And then once I really started to launch my business and I got my vendor and stuff like that, I decided to only do pre-made units. It cuts back on time, but you have to really trust your vendor, because at the end of the day, they're the one making your unit, you're just customizing it. But yeah, so at this point, this is what you have to decide. Do I want to use pre-made units? Do I want to buy bundles, make my own units? So yeah, that's kind of like your first real decision that you would want to make. This point is when you want to find your vendor. So I believe I have a whole video, which I'll put right here, on how to find a vendor. There's so many ways, and I'm telling you, the video is really short. It's simple. Please go watch it. It's so easy to find a vendor. But at this point, when you have your money, you'll be able to test vendors out and decide which vendor you want to go with and all of this good stuff. So at this point, you're choosing your vendor, and then you need to start getting together all of your other stuff as far as your logo, your branding, how you want everything to look. Do you want a website? Are you only going to use Instagram? Are you going to use Facebook? Like, you have to kind of go through all of those motions and figuring out exactly how you want your business to run. So I do think it's a really smart idea to use a website, because all of your money will go through the website. Everything will be checked. A lot of websites have fraud protection, so many different things that these websites kind of do on the back end that if you don't use the website, you'll have to do yourself. Please do not accept payment as Cash App, because as you start to make money, as you start to grow legally, things like Cash App and stuff like that, you don't want to use it, because if something happens, you can't get your money. Don't use Cash App. Cash App is just like the worst. Literally don't use it. Once you start making real money and good money and you start going through your legal process, Cash App is like the worst thing you can do. Use PayPal, use your website's payment processing, use your bank's payment processing, anything but Cash App. Like, literally, no, please don't. So yeah, that's what I was saying. At this point, you'll start to do all of that type of stuff. There's so many different website tools that you can use. The most popular are, of course, Shopify and what is the other one called? Shopify and I hate when I can't think of stuff. So yeah, the one I use is Shopify. That's why I remember it. It's another one that's really, really popular that a lot of people use. Wix, that's it. So yeah, Shopify or Wix are like the most popular ones that I see a lot. So going about using those is a really good idea. Like I was just saying, they kind of handle a lot of the back end stuff, but make sure you read into all of the contracts and stuff so that you kind of know what you're getting into and how much they're going to charge you, because they will charge you for, of course, using their platform. But it's really helpful when it comes to building your website, and now you have a full-fledged business. You have product, you have a website, you have a clientele. Because when you first started in the beginning and you were getting those people to bring you those bundles, now they're like, okay, I love the way she made my wig, now I'm about to start shopping with her. And that's exactly how I started. So now when it's time to really launch your website and your business and stuff, you have some clientele that's going to be looking. They'll be, if they're nice, of course, a lot of times they'll share your stuff, they'll tell a friend, all of that type of stuff. A lot of my business has come from word of mouth, from people just saying, hey girl, I like your hair, where'd you get it from? Oh, I got it from the wig goddess, she's on Instagram, blah 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 blah. So it kind of just goes from there, which is how you really want to start your business. Another thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about was, once you start making decent money, you want to go through all of your legal stuff. So getting your LLC, finding a CPA or an accountant to help you with your legal taxes and with your money and all of that type of stuff, only because it's a lot. And if you've never dealt with money, or you've never ran a business, or if you've never paid business taxes, then you're not gonna know what you're doing, girl. And the last thing you want is for, who is Uncle Sam, Uncle one of them looking at you like, where my money? And you like, what money? I don't owe you no money. And they're like, yes you do, you owe me some money. And then you looking crazy. So yeah, just find somebody who is good at what they do. They went to school for it. This is their job. This is what they do all day. Find somebody that can do that for you, because baby, that is not what you want, and that's not what I want. So no. So yeah, stay on top of all of that type of stuff. Getting your EIN number and starting to work on your business credit. Business credit is just as important as personal credit, and you can do a lot of things with business credit. It's just so much I can talk about. The next thing, which is something that you should have been doing honestly from the very beginning, but that I wanted to touch on, was to set goals and work towards beating them. It can be really discouraging in the beginning, and even any portion of the whole journey of starting your own wig business, it can be really discouraging. Sometimes it can be hard. You can go days with no sales. You can go days with maybe 1 or 2 sales, and it's just like, what am I gonna do? And it can be even harder when you're looking at all of these other wig makers and other people who are flourishing when your business isn't doing as well. So to that, I just say, work towards your goals, set your goals, pray, talk to God about it, and work until you can't work no more. Literally work hard. Work when you at home, work when you at work, like literally. Whether it's posting on Instagram, making a reel, updating your website, going on live and talking to your customers. Literally anything is helpful. So making sure you're just staying on top of all of that stuff and just being in the right mindset. Sometimes you can be so focused on the money portion that you fall out of love of what you're doing, and that can be really hard, because you have to get back into loving what you're doing and not being all about how much money you're making. And that, like I said, that can be hard, especially with social media now. So I think setting your goals, working to reach them, and trusting your process. That is the hardest part for me, baby, okay? I feel like I need to be driving the vans right now. I feel like I need to be having 100K in my like, I just see so much for myself, but I'm not trusting the process. So that is like the hardest thing for me. Is like, everything is in God's timing. You have to literally, the process is the best part, and I have to just go with the flow of everything. I have to work hard, but I can't rush the things that are for me. And when they're for me, they're gonna happen. So I have to remember that type of stuff, and so do you. I'm trying to think, is there anything that I'm missing as far as starting the business goes? Like I was saying in the very beginning, doing this with little to no money, you have to have some type of background. Like I said, even if it's just doing your own hair, I'm not saying you have to do hair, I'm not saying you have to be a cosmetologist, like I'm not saying any of that, but just knowing how to do your own hair. Or if you don't have any background at all, getting on YouTube and learning how to sew a wig on a cap with old hair that you might have in the closet. Because girl, I know you got a bag in the closet with some old hair in it. Take that out, get a cap for $2 at the beauty supply, and get the sewing, whether it's hand sewing or machine sewing. Luckily for me, my mom bought me a sewing machine when I was like in 2nd grade because I wanted to be a fashion designer, and I asked for one for Christmas and she bought it for me. And I've had that sewing machine since 2nd grade, and I'm 21 right now. And it's funny how things come full circle, because then at 20 years old, I was like, I'm gonna make wigs. I'm gonna learn how to do it on the sewing machine. And what did I do? I got on that sewing machine that I haven't messed with since the 2nd grade and got up there and started sewing, and now it's my mainstream of income. So like, you can sit down. I had never sewn a wig on a sewing machine. I've hand sewn a unit before, but at the beginning of this, I've never done that. So I got on YouTube like everybody else, and I figured out how to do it. No classes, no courses, no online courses, just what people give out for free on YouTube. Please take advantage of YouTube. So yeah, making sure you're using your resources, your free resources, before you go and try to do anything else. Use YouTube. YouTube has everything. It's like everything. It has everything, literally. So use it to learn how to perfect bleaching your knots. Use it to perfect plucking your hairline. Use it to perfect sewing down a closure or a frontal. Use it to perfect packaging. Use it to perfect all of that type of stuff. So making sure you're using your resources around you is like top tier. So the next thing I also wanted to talk to you guys about was making sure you're using your social media. Social media is a great tool to getting your business out there. So making sure you're using whatever social medias you have. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but I still use it. It's as far as my business goes. So promoting on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything you could think of. Making sure you're promoting on all of those, because any eyes on your business is a possible sale. So making sure you're using all of those is real big as well. And the very last thing is to never give up. Like, this is so, like, I don't know, it's just, don't give up. And you get to points where you want to, you like, forget this, I'm tired of thinking about it, I'm tired of worrying about it, it's not going how I want it to go. Just don't give up. And anytime I ever even get to that place, I still find myself on my website. I still find myself on my Instagram reposting something. I still find myself making sure I'm going through and sharing whatever wigs I have on hand, like, because this is what I love to do, and I just can't give up on it. And honestly, I think that's what's going to push me to my greatest heights. And I think everybody should just really take that into consideration. Like, nothing's gonna happen overnight, and if you give up, it's never gonna happen. At least if you're trying, it's a possibility. But if you give up, it's never gonna happen. I always tell myself, like, girl, and this is so corny, but it's true, because I love this analogy, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And baby, I'm gonna take the shot because I just know where it could go. So I just think it's really important to talk to yourself, to like I was saying earlier, pray, do whatever you gotta do, manifest, all of that good stuff, because one thing about it, you just can't give up. You can't give up, because once you give up, it's literally over. And I can't allow myself to think like that. I just can't. So with that being said, I really hope that you guys got some information from this video. I feel like every time I sit down to talk to y'all about something, the video is literally all over the place. And I hope that you got some inkling of information from this. But yeah, so this is my how to start a ready to wear wig business from the little bit of information that I do know. And I hope it helps somebody. And if you like the video, then make sure you put a thumbs up. Make sure you comment and just tell me, give me some encouraging words. I'll give you some encouraging words, girl, because we both need to be encouraging each other. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.